Expanded Inside Sources.
We've been speaking all morning about the shooting and death that occurred yesterday at Utah Valley University. It was Charlie Kirk, conservative influencer, huge following. And one of the people who was in attendance there is Phil Lyman. He's former Utah State Representative and former gubernatorial candidate. And, Phil, thanks for joining us, first of all. But I saw a picture. I saw a picture of you with Charlie Kirk, and it looks like you were maybe right before he went on stage. Is this just minutes before this happened?
Yeah, no, I was basically backstage, and when he came out and was throwing the hats, I was there. I was standing next to the stage, and I would have been there when the shooting took place, but I needed to go meet some of my friends, and I didn't want to just hang around. So there's a part of me that's glad that I wasn't in close proximity, and part of me that feels bad that I wasn't there, just in some form of moral, presence and support. It's such a tragic thing.
Phil, what was it about Charlie Kirk that made him so appealing to young people? I mean, he was traveling around to universities for the last several years and getting bigger and bigger crowds, and yesterday was no exception to that. It had to be a pretty exciting crowd, a pretty excited crowd, but there's something about his message that really was appealing to a lot of our younger people.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, and a lot of it is, his debate. He takes on big issues, things that some people won't talk about, and I think it's 100% genuine, and it comes across that way. And this was the start of his "Prove Me Wrong" tour, which he's kind of known for. So that style really resonated, and he just works so hard, and just being there next to him, that's the part. So as I was standing there and he was throwing hats, there was a young person there that was handicapped, and I said, do you know Charlie Kirk? And I said, I do. And he said, can you get me a hat? So I raised my hand. I said, Charlie, over here. And anyway, he looked at me like, you want me to throw you a hat? And I pointed, and he's like, oh. As soon as he saw what I was trying to get him to do, he walked right over and handed this guy a hat. And then he was chucking hats into the crowd, and I thought, I was just standing there like, this guy loves these kids, and they love him. It was really like, I just saw a side of Charlie Kirk that was like, okay, this guy is for real. He's just connected. He's so connected to these kids. He really understands them. He speaks their language, and they feel it. I think they really feel his sincerity.
Yeah. So Phil, it's been about 22 hours, a little bit more than that, since this shooting occurred. What is your response today as you start to think about, what does this mean that this happened in Utah?
I think, I think it was an act of terrorism, and it wasn't. I've said this wasn't a hate against Charlie Kirk. This was hate against America, and where better to do an act of terrorism than in front of 3,000 college students in Utah, of all places? It's like the appearance of peace and calm, and America, and that's where they chose to do it. That's my feeling. I could be wrong about motives and everything else, but it feels like very much an attempt to divide America, to shock the innocence of our college age kids, and in that regard, it's pretty dang effective.
Phil, what do you think is the future of Turning Point USA, the group that he founded, and that seems to be such a draw to our young people? I mean, somebody's going to pick up the slack there, I assume. What do you know about that? I know it's been a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Turning Point USA is Charlie Kirk. I don't think they'll be intimidated out of existence, but without Charlie, it definitely is going to be a different organization. It's so strong. The chapters are so strong, and it's interesting to have an organization that really is so central to a single individual like Charlie Kirk. So I'm sure if Turning Point, fades a little bit, something else will come forward. But I hope it's Turning Point. I hope they have somebody that can fill those shoes. And I just honestly, it doesn't seem like anyone could fill the shoes of Charlie Kirk in that capacity. So it'll change.
So, Phil, you mentioned just a minute ago about how effective this can be at sowing division. What is your message for Utahns and the United States with moving past something like this?
Well, one thing, it never entered my mind that this was a left versus right attack from right off the bat. This is evil, and it's rough, and I haven't spent much time on social media. I haven't even really, didn't go to bed last night. I've been traveling and everything else, and so I haven't spent much time. But when I get on social media and I see some of the partisan arguments, criticisms one way or the other, I think, oh, we're missing the mark, or we're playing right into their hand. And I don't think most people are going to do that. I think we really will see it for what it was, and which was really evil, and it was done to us as a society. And I hope we do whatever it takes to squash this moving forward. I don't want to see us turn into a terrorist country, and I think the reason it works so well is countries that really respond the way that the plan wants them to. So we can't be divided, I guess. And my message is that we care about policies. We don't like bad policies, but we care about the people, and we really care about each other. We especially care about our kids, and as adults, we can certainly send that message. It's time to be adults, and to help the kids, navigate this really traumatic. And it wasn't just the college kids. I was there with a group that had 13 little kids there, 9 to 13, 14 years old, and they were close. They were right up there. I was like, man, this is going to be it's hard to process that for a 12-year-old mind.
Oh, that's going to be awful.
They need love.
Right.
Yeah.
We're speaking this morning with Phil Lyman. Phil, Charlie Kirk had this great public presence, and when he spoke, he really drew a crowd. But you knew him more on a personal level, or at least you spoke with him, and you could talk to him person to person. What was he like as an individual, just in that capacity?
Yeah, my association with Charlie was very much in the political space and very much at these rallies. So I went to a lot of his turning point things. He had been supportive of me through some of my politics, so we had some official relationship. But it's not like I ever went hunting with him or ever hung out with him. So, but on a personal, just to talk to him, you're just always blown away with his just energy and his friendliness. He's so friendly, just so friendly and tall. That's I always, every time around, it's like, man, you're taller than I remember, and just really, really good. You just feel like goodness. I honestly, you feel a goodness when you're with Charlie. I think all the kids feel it too. So.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We were just speaking with Phil Lyman, former Utah State Representative, who took a picture with Charlie Kirk behind the stage right before this event occurred, sadly.
Yeah, and has followed him for some time and really had some great perspective on him, both as a public persona and in person. That was really interesting to hear from Phil. And I think that he makes a lot of other good points about, he talked about this is an act of terrorism. This is something that we can't allow us to continue to divide us. I mean, and it kind of harkens back to the dignity index and
Yeah.
where we are as a country. This could be, I don't know, we keep talking about every time there's a school shooting. This is a turning point, or someone else gets killed. This is a
Speaking of turning point, yeah.
This is a time to change. I don't know if this one's going to do that, but we hope that something changes.
There's still, again, the FBI is asking for the public's help in identifying a person of interest. It now has 49,000 shares. It's been out for about an hour. Again, this is a white male, college age, black long sleeve T-shirt that some internet sleuths have found a copy of online. It is a disabled veteran shirt with an American flag and an eagle, dark glasses and a ball cap, dark jeans. So they, again, the FBI is asking for help.
Yeah, and we're asking people to take a look at that and see if you recognize the individual. If you were at the event yesterday and you have photographs, or you can do anything to help the FBI. Right now, he is a person of interest, somebody they want to question.
They have not named him as a suspect.
Not a suspect, but that
but
image is
50,000 shares,
right.
Somebody's going to know this
and
person.
It's on a lot of the televisions as well.
It is. Yeah.
When we come